Greetings, everyone. It's the end of the world as we know it, but I feel fine. At least I hope I would be one of the small percentage of people that would feel fine after the epidemic. What am I talking about? Well, what else could I be talking about except Survivors, the 1975 TV series from Blake Seven and Doctor Who Dalek creator Terry Nation. Yeah, so this was a great series. Ran for 3 seasons from 1975 to 1977, and then was remade in 2008. Now, kind of a remake, kind of a reboot slash reimagining slash update, in that while it does have some nods and familiar elements from the original series, it brings a lot of new stuff to the table as well. So I thought we'd talk about the show a little bit and take a closer look at the DVD sets today on A Closer Look on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Now, Survivors, the original series, is one that I had heard about for a very long time. Obviously, being a Doctor Who fan, I'm a huge fan of Terry Nation's work. I've seen every single episode of Blake 7. I still need to get it on DVD. It's only available in Region 2 land. Well, it's available in just about every region except Region 1. So I don't know why we got shafted on Blake 7, but I really want to get one of those sets. Apparently the Dutch set is the one to get. Has slightly better picture quality than the original releases, I have been told. So, Survivors. Long and the short of it is, an epidemic of some kind breaks out. We see in the opening titles, basically just a mysterious scientist working on something, drops a vial, it shatters, and then he goes out into the world and goes onto an airplane, and he has unknowingly contracted some kind of just catastrophically contagious virus. Goes on the airplane, spreads it to all the passengers all go their separate ways, spread it to everybody else. It just spreads and spreads and spreads. It just spreads incredibly rapidly, and in a matter of weeks, the entire world is infected. The vast majority of the population is dead, and there's only a handful of people left. If you kind of think of it like The Walking Dead, but without the zombies, that's basically Survivors in a nutshell. So the bulk of the story is about the survivors, the people who survived the epidemic, and how they're A, just going to get by initially, and B, how they're going to try to rebuild civilization, because essentially, with so few people left, civilization has collapsed. So it's a great story, a great sort of what-if scenario, if, and not implausible either. I mean, there's talks of biogenetic warfare all the time, and you know that somewhere in some secret lab, somebody's working on something designed to wipe us all out. So it's not implausible. So in that respect, it's a little scary and really quite interesting. Now, I really enjoyed the original series, and I powered through it pretty quick when I first got the DVD set. Both of these sets recently dropped like a rock in price, so you can actually find them on Amazon pretty cheap now if you want to check it out. And I definitely recommend it if you do enjoy some post-apocalyptic science fiction like I do. It's pretty good stuff. And obviously someone else thought so, because in 2008 they remade it. The remake, I still have to finish watching. I've watched about half of it. And overall, actually, I thought it was quite good. There's some obvious modernizations. I mean, obviously the technology is different, and the sort of, I guess, melting pot of society is way more melty. There's a lot more cultural diversity than there was in the original series, which is nice to see. And overall, they definitely got the feel of it right. And if you do what I did and just kind of go straight into it off of watching the original series, you'll see a lot of little nods to the original series. There are some familiar plot elements, and they also take things in some pretty different directions as well. So overall, actually, I recommend both of these. I think they're both excellent shows if you like British science fiction of a post-apocalyptic nature, because they're really, really quite good. Now, a lot of fans have criticized seasons 2 and especially season 3 of the original Survivors, and I can kind of see why. The first season was very solid, just completely gripping entertainment from start to finish. The second season, they kind of change gears. I mean, the first season, they're essentially on the main group of characters come together with the first few episodes, and then you've got your little core group that you follow through most of it. And essentially, they're on the move a lot, trying to find shelter, trying to find safety, trying to find food, just trying to survive. And then in the second season, they kind of settle into a commune and they stay there for a while. And it's a lot about just trying to survive each other in the commune and the other, humans who come along and, try to stir up trouble or take it from them or try to take them away. There's definitely some good stories in there, but the pace slows way down in the second season. And also the lead actress, the actress who played Abby in the first season, is gone. She just left. She, I guess, didn't want to do it anymore or something. But so then the third season, one of the other main actors, the actor who played Greg, decided to leave because he felt that it wasn't going in very interesting directions in season 2. So he comes back a couple times in season 3, but just to kind of bid adieu. But so it essentially becomes focused more on what were the secondary characters throughout season 3. Now that said, in season 3 they're back on the move again, and the pacing is a lot faster. But they never quite recapture the strength of season 1. Season 1 is definitely the best of the 3 by a pretty wide margin. But that said, I mean, I recommend it as a series as a whole. I don't think seasons 2 and 3 are total write-offs. They're just not as strong as the first season. But they definitely have some good stories and some definite tense moments in there. Great stuff. I just love British sci-fi and stuff like this too, where it focuses on the human element of this horrible catastrophe that's wiped everybody out. Alrighty, well, let's head on down to the black box and we'll get a closer look at both of these sets. Okay, well, we'll start off with the original 1975 series here. So this, of course, is the Region 1 DVD set. You'll notice it's a 6-disc set. I mention this because, well, we'll come back to that in a little bit here. So if we take a look on the side there, you can see it's basically a digipack in a box. And on this side, very nice. On the spine, there's nothing on the top. A little bit of art on the bottom. And there's the back. So there's not much in the way of extras here. We basically have the BBC documentary, The Cult Of, in this case, The Cult of Survivors, where they interview several of the original cast members and such, and talk about the show. For those of you who watched my closer look at the Tripods Region 2 set, you may recall that there was another episode of The Cult Of, which was about the tripods on there. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we got some photo galleries, and that's about it. But, so no commentaries or anything. So if we slide this open, set the box aside there. So the box itself, just fairly standard box, just standard flimsy cardboard. So we take a look, just kind of take a look at the artwork. So we got the same cover art there, but then we have the airplane. I talked about this before, how the airplane, he goes on the plane and spreads the infection all over the place, and that's kind of where it goes. And see some more artwork there, and there we go. So you can see 6 discs, 5 of which are double-sided. Now I should mention something about this. The UK release, the Region 2 release, is actually single-sided, so it's like 10 or 11 discs, I think, something like that. I guess it would be 11, yeah, so this one would be still single-sided. But yeah, for whatever reason, they decided to cut costs here, so we have all double-sided discs. Now that said, I didn't have any playback problems, so I can't really complain too much, but just gotta find where we actually take them out here. That's interesting. Both of these edges here are blocked off. Usually there's a little spot to get your finger under, but not here. And then there. We have one there, but Yeah, so here we basically just have an episode guide for season 1, which was 13 episodes. Here we get a little more detail about the extras, actually. We have a photo gallery, Lucy Fleming's photographs. Lucy Fleming played Jenny, who was one of the, actually one of the regulars right up until the end of the series. She stayed all the way through. And then here, yeah, same thing. We get a little finger spot. Oh, actually, both of them. We get the one here, which is stupid because that's the one that's underneath. It should be on this one. So instead, we got to kind of carefully go from here. This wouldn't be so bad if they weren't double-sided, right? But there you go. So then here we have the season 2 episode guide, and this one is the one that has the Cult of Survivors episode on it, and it also has another photo gallery. I think this is just sort of studio stills rather than Lucy Fleming's personal gallery, which is pretty cool. Now, which disc is which? Season 2. Okay, so this is the... There we go. Yeah, so you got to read the fine print on the label there just to see where everything goes. And then here... Yeah, here we go. The one single-sided disc. So I would assume in the Region 2 version they all have similar disc art to that. So here, of course, we have the Season 3 episode guide. Season 3 was only 12 episodes. For whatever reason, it was an episode less. I guess they were running out of money, or the BBC just didn't want to fund it anymore, just wanted to finish it off, so they got one episode less for that season. So it's 38 episodes total, spread across the 3 seasons. And on this one, we actually have a collection of BBC publicity stills. So, pretty cool stuff. So, I mean, not a lot in the way of extras. This definitely does not hold a candle to, say, the Doctor Who DVD sets, but you know, it's actually quite a nice, affordable set of the classic series. And as I think I mentioned before, this has actually come way down in price, too. So if you feel so inclined, feel free to click on my Amazon link in the description and see if you can snag yourself a set for a good price. Okay, so that is the original series. Then, in 2008... they brought it back and basically did a new series based on the old one. Yeah, so this is the set of everything that was done. This one only did 2 seasons. These are also much shorter seasons. Now this one is a 5-disc set. So let's check it out here. So there's the main spine there. And the top is just black. The bottom is black. And here we've got the digipack in the box. In terms of design, it's basically the same kind of packaging as the original series set. And then we got the back here. Sorry, I should have showed you that. This has a little bit more extras. We have an Easter egg, a new world, the making of Survivors, character profiles, and a Survivors FX featurette, so something about special effects. Now, this being a 2008 series, it does have a considerably bigger budget than the original series did. So visually, they were able to do a little bit more, I think. Also, as I mentioned before, we have a little bit more of a multicultural cast here, which is nice. See a little more variety in the various folks that survived. And there we go. So if we open this up, yeah, here you notice single-sided discs. Look at that. Very nice. This is also a 5-disc set. Well, no, I guess the other one was 6. But so this is a 5-disc set. There was not as many episodes. I think there was 6 per season. Season 1, 5 to 6, 40. Yeah, so there was 12 episodes total. The first episode was actually a double-length one, so like a feature-length premiere, which was pretty cool. And if we just take a look on the back here, I think we have, a little bit of kind of a wraparound look at some of the characters there. So let's flip this over, and I think we actually have a large wraparound picture here. I'm just going to set these DVDs aside here and give you a full look. Yeah, see, no, actually, this one is the same. It also does not have, so it's exactly the same packaging as the other one, just different artwork. And obviously one less disc space there. See, this one is not so bad because they're not they're not double-sided. They're not flipper discs. So you don't feel quite so antsy about lifting it at the edge there to get it out. But here we go. So we take a look. Got all kinds of scenes from the remake there. Yeah, I gotta say, this is a pretty solid remake slash update. I still need to finish watching it. I've only watched, I think, these two discs here. But I definitely like what I saw. I basically went into it straight off of the original. And as I said before, I really enjoyed the original a lot. So I was going into this very cautiously. Because you know how remakes can be. They're very hit and miss. But I'd say this one was a hit. There's lots of familiar things to fans of the original, as well as lots of new stuff brought to the table. So it's overall very satisfying and entertaining. And there we go. So we'll put that there. And we'll put that there. And there you go. All that there ever has been, as of 2018, of Survivors, the classic British post-apocalyptic story created by Terry Nation. Oh, I should mention also, this one, for whatever reason, Terry Nation actually did novelizations of a few episodes of the show. And for whatever reason, I don't know if there's some kind of rights issue or what, but this version of Survivors says that it's based on the novelizations of Survivors, the original series, rather than being based on the original series. Of course, we know better, but I just found it odd that that's how the original series is credited in it, as the novelization by Terry Nation rather than the series by Terry Nation. I don't know why. I don't know. Rights issues like that are really mysterious and strange to me and just seem to defy logic a lot of the time, but who knows? Ours is not to understand. Ours is simply to be entertained by the end result of their efforts. So there you go. Survivors, old and new. Yeah, good stuff. I should mention also, Big Finish Productions has actually started doing new audio dramas based on the original Survivors, and they actually got a bunch of the original actors from the 70s series to reprise their roles for it, including Abby and Greg and Jenny. They're all in it. It's good stuff, apparently. So I don't have any of them, but apparently they are stories kind of set parallel to events from the original series. So they all kind of take place in the same time period and stuff like that. And you get to find out a little bit more about what happened with those characters than you find out in the series. So, yeah, good stuff. Big Finish. Gotta love it. Alrighty, that is it for this week's Closer Look. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you again next week for another one, whatever it may be. Tune in again next week and find out. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Big thanks to my Patreon sponsors, and I'll see you all next time. Sayonara.